Hello and welcome to another Cracker Pack, and I'm here with another pack. It's an unexpected results, and it's Jace the Living Guild packed on this pack, so I will get straight into it. Just wrecking this pack. Oh, and it's still not opening. There we go. Just take... destroyed. So there you go, first card. I'll just hold it in front of me because then I'll have the card picture here again. It is Crowd's Favour. 1 red Convoke. So a decent combat trick if you're playing a token deck. Target creature gets +1 and +0 and first strike until end of turn. So yeah, because it's instant speed and because it's a 1-drop Convoke, it's a really easy combat trick to get off. First strike's always good. It's always quite strong in red, and an extra attack. So it's a pretty good card. I'd say that's definitely worth throwing in a red-white token deck or a red heroics deck or anything like that. Those sort of things. Next, a Midnight Guard. That's pretty good. Those are always quite good. There is a really good combo that you can run with Midnight Guard, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. It is Midnight Guard and... oh god, what is it? It's one of these spells. I have a feeling it's a black spell. Oh god, which one is it? Nope, I really can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so Midnight Guard is always good. A 3-drop, 2/3 that untaps whenever you play another creature. Oh, that's what it is. It's using it in the convoke cost of Triplicate Spirits. Casting Triplicate Spirits in your combat phase because it's an instant, I think. And you tap him, and then when one Triplicate Spirit enters, you untap it. How does it work again? I think you give him something to give him mana, and you use him in the original convoke cost, and you tap him, something enters, you can summon something, and the next Triplicate Spirit enters, and it's something weird like that. But there's some kind of instant where whenever you tap it you get a something, and then you play it with Triplicate Spirits, and you can tap between each set, between each spirit entering. Because they're 3 different instants that you will get to react to. But yeah, so that's quite good. Next we have Hunter's Ambush. 3-drop instant that prevents all combat damage dealt by non-green creatures. This seems quite good. Obviously they've reprinted it it's very similar rules to other green prevent damage spells like Fog and... can't remember the other one off the top of my head. I'm not doing amazingly well today with memory of magic cards. But yeah, it's a pretty good card. Worth running to get advantage of a combat. Next. Ooh, a Cursed Spirit again. 3/2 for 4 with Intimidate. It's okay. Again, I'm not one who really plays black, so not really the sort of thing I'd play. But it's a good card still, I suppose. We then have... ooh, Raise the Alarm. Raise the Alarm is always good. I do like Raise the Alarms. Just because they're a 2-drop instant that gives you 2 Convoke triggers, as well as 2 Soldier tokens, which, if you're running things like White Soldier decks, these are always worth having in there, because you can use them with Phantom Generals and Seraph of the Masses, and they really buff up. Ugh, Statute of Denial. I think the 3rd one I've pulled since doing this series. And yeah, again, I've already talked over this one, so not going to say anything for that. Tyrant's Machine. It's a 2-drop artifact that you spend 4 and tap to tap target creature. So it's Thassaziah, but not in blue. Seems okay. Obviously it's 1 extra to drop this originally, but I think that's fine for the fact that it isn't blue. So you could run this in a white soldier deck if you really wanted. If they throw down something huge, you can just go, okay, I'll just spend 4 of my mana that I'm not really going to be spending this turn because I'm running low on cards, and tap down your stuff. That seems perfectly fine. Krenko's Enforcer, again, I've opened a bunch of these, they seem fairly good. Slyphor's Cathar, a pretty good 1-drop 1/1, but with the ability of spending 2 mana and sacking it to give all your creatures +1/+1 till end of turn. These could run quite well in white weenie decks. Token soldier decks they're always pretty good with. I don't tend to run them, but that's more just because instead of these I use like Soul Menders because I go more towards the life gain end. But in my white soldier deck I might run a couple of those. Chrono Stutter. I have not seen this one before. A 6-drop blue, put target creature into its owner's library. Wait, what? Put target creature into its owner's library, second from the top. Okay, so it's a bounce card, but it bounces them 2 turns away. So that's instant speed. It seems okay, but it's quite costly with the 6. But I suppose because it's a 2-turn bounce, you could screw up their plans quite badly. If they're struggling for a creature, they finally get one, you bounce it 2 turns away. Bounce it 2 turns away, and they're then left with nothing for 2 extra turns. So that seems pretty good. Getting into the uncommons, Shrapnel Blast. 2-drop, 1 on red. As an additional cost, sacrifice an artifact, and then it's a Lava Axe to creature or player. Seems really strong. The one downside is I'd say the sacrificing an artifact, but if you're running things like an Ornithopter as a 0-drop artifact and a 0/2 flyer, you'd be using this later game to do the 5 damage, and 5 damage is more than Ornithopter would ever do, unless you enchanted it with, like, Ensoul Artifact. But, yeah, seems really powerful if you wanted to do an Izzet Ornithopter deck. Go with some Shrapnel Blasts and some Ensoul Artifacts. Seems really good. Next, we have the Green Paragon. I think I've pulled one of these before, along with the red and... have I pulled the white or blue Paragon? One of the two. But yeah, I've definitely pulled this one before in one of the decks that I've shown, or in one of the packs that I've shown. It's pretty good. All the Paragons are pretty good. Ooh, the Profane Memento. 1-drop artifact. Whenever a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, gain 1 life. So... kind of vampire effect? Sort of. Not particularly, but... a sort of extort. Where, good in black decks, I would say. Probably good in white life gain, because if you're going to be killing stuff off, then the extra life is always worth it. As a 1-drop artifact, I'd say it's worth it. Ooh. Our rare is Yisan Wandering Bard. 2 and a green, and then for a 2/3. And then he has 2 and a green and tap. Put a verse counter on Yisan the Wandering Bard. Search your library for a creature card with a converted mana cost equal to the number of verse counters. Put it onto the battlefield. And then shuffle library. So it's... you play him turn 3. Turn 4, you can do a Giant Growth or something, as well as playing his effect, to search for another 1-drop creature. I suppose it puts you back like 2 turns, but if you ever get his verse counters up, you're playing your massive creatures for 3, which seems perfectly viable. It seems amazing. Did we pull a token? We pulled a forest. And we pulled a black death-touching beast token. That's some pretty cool artwork. I'll show that to you lot. Not sure if you can see it very well. Just get right in there with it. Look at that beast. Brrr. I have a feeling these are for Garruk, possibly. I'm not sure if anything else summons black beasts. Let's have a look. Garruk's right the way down at the bottom, not at the top. So I am using Mythic Spoilers, a great site for finding out all about the cards that you know and love. Yeah, so these are the Garruk tokens, the Garruk beast tokens, the Apex Predator. So, seems like a pretty good pack. We got Yisan, we got some other pretty good cards. I would say, other than Yisan, obviously, Raise the Alarm is my personal favourite, but an overall favourite that isn't our rare, I would say probably the Paragon. Paragon seems pretty strong. Just the trample effect for one is ridiculous. So there you go. That was a pretty good set. And we will see you next time for more unexpected results. I almost called it Magic Mondays then. That's not this series anymore. But yes, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye. Goodbye.